Everybody, welcome back to the channel. So, stock market sold off today. It was very violent. Today we're going to talk about how the market may behave in the morning, all right? I'm also going to be sharing some stocks that y'all should be keeping in your watch list as well, and I'm going to be sharing with y'all a trade that we took today. All right, now before we begin, do not forget to annihilate the like button on your way in, and also don't forget to click on that subscribe button along with that notification bell. That way you don't miss out on these videos. So let's begin right off the bat. So the SPY right now is looking kind of nasty. It is. And the head and shoulders is there, but it's really vulnerable. I'm going to use the Nasdaq because it's going to be an easier chart to explain what's going to happen. Now, for those of y'all who have been watching the videos and subscribing to the channel, I explained one thing previously that y'all should be worried about, right? With this inverse head and shoulders right here, I told you that path number one, which a lot of longs would like, is for us to go straight up, right? Pathway number two is for the market to choose the more choppy path and go sideways over here. So this drop right there represents what happened today and what also may happen tomorrow. Now, the thing about this structure specifically, things get very messy when that right shoulder gets wider and wider. The wider it gets, the uglier it gets, and the more likely the Nasdaq is to reach like 13,000, maybe even 12,500 within the next few weeks. So we don't want to see that. And also, it will just be the only thing that can save this chart is one massive bull run next week. If it keeps dragging its feet like that, eventually that floor is going to break, and then we will see these lows right here. So that's just a thought. That's what's coming up in my mind. That's the first thing, and I think the most likely thing that may happen within the next few days. So be careful out there, all right, and look for day trading opportunities. Day trading right now is very favored. All right, now, the first stock that you should be keeping on your watch list is for a very simple reason. We're gonna go on the 1 minute. That stock is TSM, and the reason why I want to share TSM with y'all is because of this. If we go on the 4 hour and we zoom in right here, you can clearly see that there is a descending triangle that broke down today. Very nasty fashion, all right? Now, with this breakdown, with how clean it looks, I wouldn't be surprised to see TSM collapse all the way down to the lows of like $93. I shared this one before to y'all a very long time ago. I told you that it could get there, but it kept dragging its feet and going sideways and sideways. And I think that this is the moment. I think that tomorrow is the day it finally falls. The gap on the daily is still there right here. Let me zoom in, right? It's still there. All right. It hasn't filled yet. And also the weekly is still looking kind of nasty in my opinion, right? Presuming here, still looking like bears are all over this thing, right? So could this thing get a bit longer? Probably, all right? It will be really sweet if it can get really long by like tomorrow or by Monday, either way. So definitely watch this one for a potential drop tomorrow. Now, the next stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list for tomorrow, that stock is UPST. All right, now this one, I shared this one a while as well, a very long time ago for this reason, right? I think I shared it when it was over here at like $91. I made a video about it, and it took a really long time, but eventually it got there, right? Eventually it's getting in that circle. It's a little bit late. It may need an extra day to do something like to do something like this all the way down, right? So this might happen tomorrow. If it doesn't happen tomorrow, if tomorrow is a green day for some reason, like just a regular basic doji where the price doesn't move and the percentage is still at negative 0.35, right? Monday could be nasty because these gaps gotta fill at some point, and I think it's going to fill very soon. So it would be best if it just got it done and over with tomorrow, and then next week we can anticipate some type of bounce. But for tomorrow, I have to lean a bit bearish. So that's my honest thoughts on these two stocks and why y'all should keep them on your watches for tomorrow. Let's do an update on Tesla. So yesterday I told y'all Tesla was going that the market was going to go insane. It did. It actually did. It actually did for people who had calls on just on a spot in general. If you were holding calls throughout that, like overnight, or if you were holding calls on Tesla through earnings, which again I always say is 150% gambling, right? But if you look at Tesla, I told y'all to watch it for a move up to 1090 or 1100 by Friday. I didn't think it was going to make that move so fast. I really didn't think so. I was very surprised to see that thing move up like that so quickly and get there immediately. So that made the situation very suspect. Very suspect. And as you can see, the outcome was quite nasty and everything just started to fall. Where is it going to go next? I'm willing to bet lower. I think it's going to break right below this level right here. So yeah, definitely watch for that. And watch for day trading opportunities either. The market is gonna make it easier one way or another to recognize which direction it's going to go. The situation is bearish. So the bias is just a little bit bearish for now. But that's what happened with Tesla. It got there really fast and immediately collapsed. All right, now the day trade that we took was on. Let me just go straight onto TGT. Actually, let me just go on the weekly or the monthly and then do TGT. Clear, there you go. All right, so the trade that we took on this one right here was on the 1 minute. So on the 1 minute time frame, I saw this thing going. Like I told y'all, I think for the past two videos I've been telling y'all that to watch this one for a move up to 260. Right? It's been chilling. It's been going slowly. It's been showing these little hints that it was going to go higher. The gap at 260 was there, and then it showed this thing right there on the 1 minute. So we got in right there, right at that breakout of that bullish pennant with these contracts. The 252.5 calls for $170, and as soon as we got in the contract, it started to run like immediately. It went from 170 to 220 to 250 to 300, and then when it got close to like 255, I ended up selling half of my calls for 320 each, and then that was at 9 o'clock, and then 3 minutes later when it started showing signs of weakness, let me show you. So here's the one right there. All right, when it started showing signs of weakness, I immediately got out with the rest of the calls. I sold the rest of the calls for $260 each right over here. And then also the SPY was looking very suspicious. Tesla was falling, everything was tanking. So it just made sense to exit that day trade for those gains. So that's pretty much the only day trade I took today, and that is the end of the video. Again, do not forget to annihilate the like button for the YouTube algorithm. As always, helps the channel a lot and allows more people to get this knowledge as well. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't done so already, definitely click on subscribe and click on the notification bell along with all notifications. That way you don't miss out on these videos. If you'd like to be part of our private Discord community, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. If you haven't added me on social media yet, you can find me at Ngumah and at PATTERNOLOGY LAB on Instagram and on Twitter. Alright. And lastly, if all of this is brand new to you, if you're interested in getting started in the stock market, I left some very basic step-by-step directions in the description of the video below. Step 1 to step 3. It only takes about 15 minutes or less for you to get signed up with all the tools you need to start trading immediately. You can also get some free stocks after signing up with Webull using the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ngumah with PATTERNOLOGY LAB, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in the next video.